Hello, good morning. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. We're a few moments away from finding out the fate of Manchester City ahead of they've had their appeal with the Court of Arbitration for Sport in relation to their 2-year European ban, not just Champions League, but European ban that's been issued by UEFA. The verdict's going to be out with us in a few moments. And from my point of view, I really don't know which way it's going to go. There's a part of me that feels they need to be banned for what I've read, through what I feel they've done. There's also the element of me that says, let's see what comes out in the wash. Maybe things have been fabricated by media outlets. Maybe some of the truths we've been given aren't quite how they seem. And from my point of view, I also feel, I do get this little sense deep down inside that it's going to be, I think what will end up happening is that the ban will just be reduced and there'll be a fine. And I don't know what that means. And what I mean by that is, I don't know where that leaves us in terms of the financial, I don't know where that leaves us in terms of the financial fair play situation. If it's just a ban, if it's just a fine, does that mean that we can all go and do what Man City did and get away with it? You know, how many more teams are going to start to exploit the loopholes if they're able to do that? If they get this completely overturned and they're exonerated, I think financial fair play is done as a concept, which is really going to change the way in which you see the Man City spending money. You know, maybe, you know, I don't think it'll be too long until we see the Newcastle announce their new owners. If there's no financial fair play involved, you watch a madness going on there. You really will. And even like some of the clubs that are not sort of state-owned in that way might end up spending bigger money. At the same time, if City haven't done anything wrong, and we have to be fair here, then fair play. They cannot be banned. And if they're found to be innocent, if they win their appeal, they have to be respected in that way also. But my mind, honestly, I'm 50-50 with all of it right now. It's going to be a couple of minutes until we actually get this verdict through. But as I say, I'm legitimately in two minds about it. I'm not sure which. I'm not really sure which way it's going to go, and I'm not even sure, as it stands right now, what the implications are going to be on football. And I don't think we're not going to find out the implication on football today. It's going to take a few weeks for this to come through. But we're a few moments away from actually getting it. A lot of people in the comments here saying the ban is going to get overturned. Most people think it's going to get overturned. And the reason why I agree with you, and it's a gut feeling, is the amount of times we've seen teams get transfer bans and other punishments, and in the appeal, things are at the very least reduced or they get overturned and things like that. So I agree with you massively on this. I think that there is going to be an element of that, no doubt about it whatsoever. But we're a few moments away from getting it done. We're going to see what's going to be said here. I hope that they follow through with things. If they've broken the laws, if they've broken the rules, then they simply have to do it. But we will see. Nothing has been officially announced as far as I can see now. We're a few minutes into waiting. A few people are saying it's been upheld. No disrespect to any of you. I don't know whether you're telling me the truth or not. I haven't seen anything yet coming through on social media, but we will see. Breaking news. There's some that say it's been overturned. Hang on a sec. Is there anything official that's come out yet? Some are saying they've won it. So you guys are all telling me something different. I'm seeing some tweets here. There's one from a big City account. It looks like it's been. They've won. City appeal upheld. Kazza upheld City's appeal against the European. They will play in the Champions League. Man City have won their appeal. Wow, Man City win their appeal. It's been upheld. They will be in the Champions League next year. That now, the title race is absolutely. That is now heated up the title race massively. The top 4 race is now heated up massively. Next season is going to be a madness. They win their appeal, and we need to wait for the dust to settle. in relation to that. What does it actually say on this? It says, CAS upheld City's appeal against their European ban. They will play in the Champions League next season. I think they're going to get a £10 million fine. So what's that interesting? If they're getting a £10 million fine, that means they are cheats. That means they are cheats. They've just had the punishment reduced. So that's the interesting thing here. You know, if they're still paying a fine, they've broken the law, they're just not being banned. And you can argue that's what I want to wait to see here. I want to wait to see for the actual facts to come out. Because if you're fined, it still means you've done something wrong. I'm getting a feeling that's wrong. Do me a big favour. Please hit that like button. Over 1,000 of you tuning in right now. It says here, City react to winning their appeal. It says, whilst Man City and its legal advisors are yet to review the full ruling of the Court of Arbitration, the club welcomes the implications of today's ruling as a validation of the club's position and the body of evidence that is able to present. The club wishes to thank the panel members for their diligence and due process in this decision. See, I get all that, but again, my view is this. Are they still being fined? And that's what I want some clarification on now. A few people are saying they are going to be fined. So it's been overturned, they've made their statement, but are they still being fined is the question. If they're still being fined, and the Manchester Evening News has made a post on this here, I'm going to wait for this to load up in front of us. They've issued the statement. The fine's been reduced to 10 million quid. So City are still guilty. City are still guilty. You're paying a £10 million fine for breaking the rules. You're just lucky that they haven't banned you. So you're not innocent. Remember that. You're not innocent, City fans. You can claim it all you want, but you've been found guilty. All that you've had is your sentence has been reduced. You know? You're literally not innocent here. I just want to wait for clarity for that to come through from the CAS website. Man City are guilty of breaking financial fair play rules. They are guilty of fraudulent behaviour in, falsifying money. Literally guilty, but they're not being banned. So that's what we were waiting on here. We can now officially call Man City cheats. Manchester City are officially cheats. It's been proven. All that's happened is their sentence has been reduced. But Manchester City are officially cheats. This super chat here says, why hand out punishments when you're always going to seemingly overturn or reduce them? Mate, it's the way of the world, you know. It's the way of the world. Someone's saying unlucky, Terry. Listen to me. There's no unluckiness from my point of view. I haven't died and allowed my morality to drop today. You know, as I said all along, go back to the top of this video. We're going to wait to see the outcome. If they're innocent, then I'll apologise for any slander I sent their way. But they're not innocent. Manchester City are officially cheats. Manchester City have cheated the system. Manchester City have artificially created the path that they've got now. They are where they are now in football because of cheating, but the powers that be think a £10 million fine is the price for that. £10 million for a club, by the way, that are super rich. It is a bit of a joke, really. It's very unfair to the teams that have done this properly. Very, very fair. But listen, now as football fans, as rivals, we can all turn on Man City and we know you are officially cheats. Officially cheats. As saying here says, we can call them cheats, but you better call them a Champions League team next season. Well, you are a Champions League team, no doubt about it. But Man City fans, how does it feel to know your success is built upon cheating, financial doping, and the breaking of the rules? That's what you've done. As long as you can, I will call you a Champions League team as long as you can admit that you are cheats, proven cheats. But there we go. 1 second, I've just got to tweet out. Man City reduce their ban to a whopping £10 million fine. But this proves they are cheats. How can City fans be happy about this? Put that out there. Man City have their ban reduced. Sorry, people. I'm just ban reduced to a whopping £10 million fine, but this proves they are cheats. How can City fans be happy about this? There we go. Just got to tweet that out there. Let's see a few more of these comments here. Salty, salty, salty. It's not salty, bro. It's not salty. Like I said all along, you know, everyone knows my views on cheats, and that's the point I'm making here. City are proven cheaters, and I just want to know how our City fans can be happy about that. You've not been exonerated here. You've been proven as guilty. So I don't understand why you're happy. Think about it. Like people you're celebrating because you're still in the Champions League, but you're proven cheaters. Nothing you win is going to be recognised by the footballing world anymore. Nobody is going to recognise what City achieve. It isn't real. It isn't real. Overplan here says, imagine cheating for a decade and being fined the value of Fabian Delph. That's true. What you just said there is the truest thing you'll hear. It's the truest thing you're going to hear. It's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace, really. The more I sit here and think about it, the more it does make sense. It does make sense. You know, UEFA don't have a backbone. But you are cheats, and that's what you will be called and what you will be referred to as every single time you lift a trophy. The platform that you have built is tarnished, is rotten, is there's no authenticity with it. There's no morality, there's no integrity to it. Now, if City fans can celebrate that, then fine. Absolutely, you've got a better conscience, you've got no conscience, and you're able to do that. From my point of view, and I stand by this wholeheartedly, the fact that you've been proven today as cheaters. If that's my club, Man United, I'm pushing back against that. Pav here says the system is a joke. If clubs like PSG and Man City are being let off with light fines, then clubs who break the rules in future should be given light punishments too. Well, that's the whole point. You know, let's not worry about financial fair play anymore. Let's just go out and spend. And beyond that, not only just not worry about it, let's falsify our accounts to do it. If City had done nothing wrong, they wouldn't have been fined 10 million quid. But there we go. But there we go. Well, hang on here. It says here, Man City did not, media release, Man City did not disguise equity funding or the sponsorship contributions. CS decision, exclusion from particular competition lifted, fine maintained but reduced 10 million. I don't know about that. Someone has sent me that link, but for me, I don't know, £10 million fine for not cooperating. If that's true, then look, I stand corrected. But in my opinion, there's something don't feel right about this. A £10 million fine don't mean we're cheats. What do you think you got a £10 million fine for? The Court of Arbitration and UEFA can spin it however they want. But if you'd done nothing wrong, you would have cooperated. You would have cooperated. You didn't. This is just a cover-up. But there we go. £10 million fine is a slap on the wrist at best. Financial fair play has been completely undermined. And I agree with you. And do you know what? This is what I would say. The only way I can accept this decision moving forward is if nobody else is punished in future. What wouldn't be fair is for Newcastle to break these rules now, but Newcastle to get the ban and Man City not to. Josh here said City should be banned alone for breaching FF pay for players like Mendy. Newcastle can now follow that blueprint. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But for me, I want to wait and see what's being said here. There's a full story I'm going to jump onto here about this. I just want to read this out. It says here that Man City have won their appeal against the European ban and will be free to play in the competition. The Court of Arbitration of Court agreed with the Blues that UEFA's decision to throw them out of the competition for serious breaches of financial fair play and the club's licensing rules were alleged, was wrong. The details of the CAV ruling have yet to be released, so we don't actually know why they've been fined or not. It's interesting what they've said. They've just said that to throw them out was wrong, and that's what I think you'll end up seeing. they're not. I don't think they're going to be exonerated, Man City. I think what you're going to find is the punishment. The Court of Arbitration is going to say the punishment is too harsh. It's going to damage too many players' careers. It'll damage the livelihood of we won't earn as much money now, meaning we'll have to reduce staff numbers. Whatever. They will push it out there. He says the details of the CAS ruling are yet to be released, but City are believed to have appealed on the basis that UEFA's decision was based on incomplete and hacked emails. So hacked emails, meaning, so yes, the information has been found upon illegally. So we've got ourselves out. I mean, again, it's a good technical thing. What's up with FFP? I don't really understand it. Is what, as I said, because it's gone through the media. City faced a 2-year ban, which could cost them up to £300 million in lost revenue, and could also have led to their star players leaving. The problem began with football leagues cheats. So nothing's actually been, there's no official stat. I think, this is just my opinion, what we're going to end up seeing is there's going to be an element of the punishment was too harsh for the crime because it wasn't, and also that they felt that, what you'll also probably find CAS will say is that UEFA punishment was excessive because they had to be seen to be making an example of City because of the public attention this news got, because it was broke via a WikiLeaks type field. That's how I guarantee you it will be along those lines. I absolutely think it will be along those lines. Someone here says, no, it does not mean they are cheats or guilty. Read it properly. They are fined because they didn't cooperate properly with the investigation. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says the Court of Arbitration agree with the Blues that UEFA's decision to throw them out of the competition for serious breaches of their financial fair play rules and their club's licensing rules, as were alleged in the as well as alleged non-cooperation, was wrong. That's a broad statement. We don't have the finer details on that yet. For me, I don't think they're going to get a £10 million fine purely for not cooperating. I don't believe or think or feel that for a single second. However, if that's the case, then you will see me come out and apologise. But that seems an excessive fine for not cooperating. And equally, if you've got nothing to hide, why are you not cooperating? Again, we'll see what comes out in the full statement. But for me, it feels like cheats. Yeah. But there we go. Let's see here. I love reading these comments. Devil in the Detail says, this does make a mockery of the financial fair play rules, as a fine isn't enough to enforce the rules. This paves the way. Well, exactly. The fine for £10 million saves them from losing £300 million. If I said to you now, give me a tenner, and you learn £300 million out of it, you're going to pay me a tenner, aren't you? Sorry, 300 quid out of it, you're going to pay me a tenner. But yeah, as I say, from my point of view, I don't feel shocked by the result. We'll wait to see the full CAS ruling. And listen, if it doesn't say they've been exonerated and there is no evidence of cheating, they've cheated. It might say that it's not conclusive, and because this is like a civil matter rather than a legal matter. But we'll see. We'll see. But as it stands, and this is the official element, Manchester City will be playing in the Champions League next year. That's a fact. That in itself is an absolute fact. I'm just looking here to see if there's any more news on this. What have Sky Sports said here? UEFA takes note that the decision taken by the Sports Arbitration for Sport can reduce the sanction imposed on Man City by UEFA notes that the CAS panel found that there was insufficient conclusive evidence to uphold their conditions, a specific case, and that any allegation breaches were time barred due to the 5-year period foreseen by UEFA's regulations. Over the last few years, the financial fair play has played a significant role in protecting clubs and helping them. So what they're sort of saying here is that there wasn't conclusive evidence that they'd cheated. So that will give City fans that notion of there wasn't conclusive evidence, so we're going to say we're innocent. Plus, it was time barred. A lot of this stuff happened over 5 years ago. So it was time barred due to the 5-year period foreseen under the regulations. So they couldn't actually. So what it sounds like is there was inconclusive evidence because a lot of the evidence was outside the 5-year time bar. And this is the thing with law that is amazing. you can get away with so much with technicalities and loopholes. So it wasn't there was no evidence, it's that the evidence was inconclusive. There wasn't sufficient conclusive evidence because it was time barred, because it was too old. You know, like when you try and open a mobile phone contract and you take your water bill down as proof of address, but it's a year old and it's out of date. It's a real water bill, but it's no longer valid. That's actually a little bit funny, to be fair. That's a little bit funny. But there we go. This is it. UEFA notes that the CAS panel found there was no sufficient conclusive evidence to uphold all of the conclusions in the specific case, and that many of the alleged breaches were barred due to the 5-year time period. So basically, cheat, and as long as you don't get caught in the first 5 years, you're fine. Speaking to Sky Sports, sports lawyer Dan Yeaney said there is grounds now for UEFA to go to the Swiss federal tribunal. It does happen on occasions in sports cases, but the grounds to be able to appeal those decisions are pretty narrow, usually based on procedural fairness, judicial and public policy gains. For the time being, at least, it's a very big victory for Man City. And it is. And as I say, when the full case comes out and there's no evidence of cheating, then I'll say they're not cheats. But if it's that it's inconclusive, if it is time barred, I ain't believing that. Then and I'm cool. That's a legality way of getting out of it. Ghostwriter says, I'm an AFC fan, but you're just scared you won't make top 4. No, not at all. This isn't that. If Man City haven't cheated, I've got no issues. It's very easy to read through spin. That's all. It's very easy to read through spin, and for me, all the answers is a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. What you're saying is, when you say there's not conclusive evidence, I want you to explain what that means. It sounds like a lot of the alleged allegations were time barred. So let's say I've got 10 pieces of evidence against these 10 breaches, but they're over 5 years old. That means it's inconclusive. And yeah, it's done. But anyway, they're in, and there's nothing we can do about it. United should go and spend 500 million this summer, and then falsify it. But listen, everyone who's tuned in this morning, thank you very, very much. As always, do me a big favour, hit the like button, share button, and all that jazz, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care.